Hey everyone, welcome back to the Canela Show. It's Priscilla. I don't know if you've seen or heard other people say looking poor is important. While I can agree with some of the things that they are saying, I don't like how it's stated. I personally don't believe that you need to look poor in order to be smart with your money. Saying it like that sounds absolutely horrible. It sounds like someone's a bum or someone is not put together, and I just don't like that. You also definitely don't need a lot of money to be put together either. You can still have money, save your money, and not spend a lot of money on your appearance and still look good. Many out there were saying that their goal is to look homeless in order to have a lot of money. And while I can pretty much get what they're trying to say, I don't believe it needs to be that extreme. I feel like a better way to put it or to word it is to say, in order to stay rich, you don't need to focus on looking rich. Because I'll be real, and I'm sure you know people like this, that they put all their time and their money into their appearance and looking good all the time, but then their priorities are backwards. They are buying the latest shoes, they are buying the newest trending clothes out there and trying so hard to keep up with society and trying to impress people. While I do think it's nice to have things, and I'm not saying that you can't have nice things, but a lot of times people lose sight of what really matters. Some people lose sight of building future goals, like building true wealth or working towards financial freedom. Some of the richest people look like regular people. They don't have all the expensive name brand things. Well, I'm not saying that they don't have anything name brand, but what they're not doing is they're not focused on trying to impress people by flaunting all their things or trying to be flashy, because at the end of the day, that is honestly just super tacky. It is definitely unfortunate though, because we do live in a society that is very big on social media, and people tend to focus a lot on their appearance. But if you can remain grounded and focus on your bank account, your net worth will grow really fast. Now let's dive into some of the important reasons why it is important to not focus on looking rich. And if you like this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, so reason number one, it simplifies your life. Let's give a really expensive car for an example. They may be really nice to have. It might be exciting to drive it around, even show it off for some time. For a few months, you're going to be loving it. However, you'll then realize how much work and money it'll take to maintain it because of the expenses. So for example, insurance is super expensive. Then premium gas, and gas in Canada is not cheap. Then you have tires, maintenance, parts, etc. And then from a financial point of view, if you're constantly adding these reoccurring costs in your life, let's say this expensive car payment, that'll just add to your day-to-day stress that you undergo to make sure that you make this payment. So for an example, in my life, I can give you a little story that can relate to this. And I by no means had a lot of money at this time, but I was in high school. I was 17 years old. I was working a part-time job. I got my license. I had my G2. I was able to drive, and my parents were gonna buy me my first car. So while I didn't have to pay for the car, I didn't have any car payments on that car, expenses were still pretty high. Car insurance for my car in the city that I was living in, one of the highest rates in the country. And I remember talking to my business teacher about getting my car, and he advised me to wait and not get it. But I didn't listen. I wanted the car. I didn't want to have to rely on my parents. I didn't want to rely on anybody else. I wanted to have the freedom to do things. I didn't want to take the bus. I didn't want to have to walk places. But what I didn't realize is with this decision, I was super limited with the things that I was able to do, because majority of my money was going to my car. Majority of that money was going to my car insurance. It was going to gas. So on a part-time income with these high expenses at the time was limiting what I was able to do. So if I didn't go with the car and I would have waited, I could have focused on that money and putting it towards saving. And then once I finished high school, I could have got a full-time job, and then I would have had more money to put towards the car and have money left over. When you choose to live a modest lifestyle, this gives you more flexibility. Reason number 2, it's simply just cheaper. You're not focused on buying the new designer t-shirt, buying the fancier car, or buying the latest iPhone. You'll then have more money to save, more money to invest, and even more money to invest in yourself. The problem with a lot of Canadians and Americans today is that whenever something new comes out, we rush to get it right away. So a perfect example of this is the new iPhone. The iPhone 16 just came out. So every year, a lot of people have a perfectly good working functional phone, but because this latest iPhone comes out and maybe only one cool new feature, they rush to go and get something that is not a need but rather a want. So a recent study shows that 65% of Americans say that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So by having a cheaper lifestyle, this will minimize this risk. And then that way you will have extra money to spend on the things that really matter, or on things that you really need. So for an example, that can be putting towards an emergency fund, which is like 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. I posted a short video on this a few days ago mentioning you've just got paid, now where do you want to put your money towards? So go check that out. Or you can start a retirement fund or put it to more fulfilling purchases. Like for an example, you can put $500 a month aside, and then by 1 year you'll have $6,000. Then you can take that $6,000 and put it towards investing in yourself, such as education or courses, which in turn will make you more money down the road. Or you can take that $6,000 and you can invest it into the stock market. A perfect example is the S&P 500, which you can get around $514,000 after 25 years. Okay, reason number 3. This invites the right people into your life. A common problem that we hear a lot with people that appear to be rich or portray a certain lifestyle is that the wrong type of people want to be in their circle, want to be their friend, or the wrong type of person will have the wrong impression of you. So maybe some people will want something from you, or they'll expect something from you because you have this money, so they'll expect you to be able to do X, Y, and Z. Or for an example, if you're a man, you may attract a woman that just wants you for your things or for your money. This is especially if you're somebody who is constantly flaunting your things. You're basically just inviting these types of people into your life. And then this is obviously the wrong crowd and not the people that you want to have in your life, because they aren't there for your best interest and they're not there to get to know you for who you really are. When you decide to live humbly and modestly, you're opening up for someone to come and value you for you. And not only are you living more authentically, but these people are going to be around for your heart, for your mind, for your energy, for your presence. And then this is also a good way to weed out people that aren't in your life for good reasons. And then you're protecting yourself from getting hurt from these people. And reason number 4, this will make you happy and grateful for the things that you already have. Sometimes we focus on all the other things that we want to have and we lose focus of all the things that we already do have and that we're fortunate enough to own. We need to remember to remain grateful, and that the things that we have are sometimes things that people only dream of having. For example, a roof over your head, clean water, food on the table, a car that gets to take you around, etc. By not overindulging, this allows us to be more appreciative of the things that we have. And if these are things that you struggle with doing, then I highly recommend that you take a moment and you write down all the things that truly matter to you. For example, it's my health, my kids' health, Every day we're able to wake up healthy and we're doing well. Another is my family and my friends. My circle is so important to me because I know that they love me for who I truly am. They accept me, they're there for me when I need them, and they're there for me through thick and thin. Another is my faith. Without it, I wouldn't feel like my life has so much purpose. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have it. I definitely wouldn't be standing where I am and having the positivity that I do the way that I do, and other things like food, shelter, etc. By doing this allows us to be content with what we have and not basing it on monetary things. Because in the end, none of these things are coming with us. And if we were to lose it all, we would still remain happy because we're not basing it off of those things. What remains with us isn't those materialistic things. It's memories, it's the experiences that we share. And sure, when you get these nice things, you get a rush of dopamine. You get all these excited emotions and you're happy. But then eventually that fades. And then you'll drop back to your baseline happiness. And that's why it's so important to not base it on materialistic things or desires. We need to break the cycle of rushing to buy the newest, latest, hottest thing, or even trying so hard to be the hottest thing. So we need to make that conscious choice to live a low profile, because in the end it's going to pay off and we'll receive a peace of mind. So if you like this video and you haven't by now, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below your major takeaways from this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so and stay tuned for more videos.